So I'm reading this book right now called Altered Traits. It breaks down the science behind meditation. These authors were part of the wave in the 70s with Ram Dass and Timothy Leary at Harvard, and they've been obsessed with meditation and mindfulness, trying to scientifically prove the benefits. And until recently, there really wasn't much science done on the topic. Either the computers weren't complex enough, people weren't really interested, they're actually turned off by the idea of studying meditation after Ram Dass and Timothy Leary came through and kind of disrupted the psychology department out there. But I found it really interesting that now we have the science to back up what changes in the body and the mind when we meditate. And part of the book, they break down different tiers of meditation experience, and it breaks down to 0 to 1,000 hours is considered a beginner. 1,000 to 10,000 is considered intermediate, and then 10,000 plus is considered expert. And while in the West, unless you dedicate your whole life to this, which is what the experts have done in the East, you're probably not going to reach over 10,000 hours of meditation. You could in your lifetime if you go on retreats and you dedicate yourself. For most of us, what's practical is to find 20 minutes to an hour a day to dedicate yourself to meditation. And when I read this, I kind of thought back how much time I've spent in meditation, and I started in 2017, pretty seriously, consistently meditating every day, at least 20 minutes, and for sometimes a little more. Like I did 100 days, 1 hour every day for 100 days consistently. So usually between, say, 10, 20 minutes to an hour was my standard practice over the years. And so I'm somewhere, I don't know exactly, somewhere over 1,000 hours of meditation. And what they explain in the book is you begin to pick up these altered traits. You actually change the way that you respond to the world when you meditate longer. And of course, there's different styles of meditation, how deep you go, what you actually are doing in your meditation, like all these different styles. But to break it down simply, I would say any practice where you are turning inward, where you bring your awareness within, I would consider meditation. And in the holistic health that I teach, it's called working in. So anytime we're bringing our awareness inside the body, that is what I would call a meditation. And then ultimately, you can get to the point where you can go about your day-to-day life in meditation. That is after you have enough practice, which probably would be over 10,000 hours, where you can just live your life in a meditative state. So some of the things that have changed for me since practicing meditation, I've noticed that my ability to bring objective awareness to whatever situation I'm in has changed. I am able to, instead of just reacting to a situation, I can actually take some time, center myself, find the center faster than before, and be able to respond rather than react. Another altered trait that I've noticed is I'm less angry at whatever situations life presents itself as. I have a better, more holistic understanding of what life is, meaning there's no good without the bad, there's no night without the day. Kind of looking at things from a bigger perspective rather than getting caught up into little details and letting that make me angry. I can see the bigger picture more clearly with meditation. Let's see, another altered trait. I would say that ultimately comes down to the awareness. I have enough awareness to see whether I need to act a certain way, if I need to check myself, if anything is serving me. That's a huge one. If I have the awareness of doing whatever, like, let's say, take drinking alcohol, for instance, for me, I think once I started meditating more and more, my awareness grew. I got to the point where alcohol no longer served me. It made me feel less than if I didn't drink it. Like, I would feel better not having a drink versus having a drink. And I think part of that comes from that raised awareness, just being more aware of how my body and my mind are responding to certain things. That applies to every aspect, whether from the food that I eat to, am I having a meditative practice? Am I working out? Am I doing something with the intention of trying to escape my current situation? Am I trying to dissociate? Or am I getting the benefits of being so completely present that my future and past no longer have that same grip that they would if I was in my mind thinking about different situations that happened, whether in the past or in the future. So ultimately, I believe I am at the beginning stages of meditation. I have a lot more time to put in to this practice, a lot more working in to do. And it's so funny, in the West, we want everything immediately. We want to sit down and meditate for, I don't know, 5 minutes and expect to be enlightened. Just meditate for 5 minutes a day and you'll be enlightened. Whereas the reality is, one of the participants in the study in this book, Altered States, he had 67,000 hours of meditation. And his ability to drop into compassion and love was off the charts. It's something like 800% more effective than someone who doesn't have a meditative practice. So when you see the expert levels of this, it's very apparent that it is ultimately its own reward. The meditation in itself is rewarding enough, and enter into this awareness enough that it's worth committing your life to, it's worth doing for 60,000 hours, which if you think in your life what you've done for that long, how many hours have you logged? Maybe sleeping, maybe eating for some of us. So yeah, I can see how there will be more depth added to this practice over the years. I still have a lot of contemplation, meditation to dive into in the future. But I just want to share, after 1,000 hours, there definitely has been some changes that I've noticed. And now it's cool that the science is presenting itself to support what traditions have known for thousands of years. So if you don't have a meditation practice, highly recommend you start. 5, 10, 20 minutes a day will alter your whole reality.